Right around Christmas, I got one of these, an Epiphone Blues King Studio, and it was a dream come true. There's been some issues. This isn't the Epiphone I got for Christmas. This is the replacement because of some problems that I had, and this one's going back too. Can I get this to work, this guitar that I fell in love with and became a great part of my sound, or is it going to be 3 strikes and you're out? Let's take a look at it. So if you've been watching my channel for the last couple of months, you know that my main acoustic guitar, which is a Fender Paramount, it needs help. So I needed something as a backup. Some of you stepped up, they sent in some donations around Christmas time, and I was able to get an Epiphone Blues King Studio. I loved that guitar. I unboxed it, you saw the video, and I was playing it every week. People were talking about the sounds I was getting, and I was really bonding with that instrument. So what happened? And I talked a little bit about this. This is actually the second one. I just opened this. Zzounds replaced the first one after I told them the issues I was having. As soon as I opened this one, I knew there was a problem. Called them. They're having me send this one back too. So here's what's happened so far. On the first one, I went through, first it's a shorter scale body than I was used to playing. I love the tones I was getting, especially plugged in. You get the Fishman electronics, but there are no cuts in the body. It's inside the sound hole, the battery compartment's up under the neck. But this tuning plate, where you've got all 3 tuners connected, on the first one of these that I got, it started pulling away to the point where I could put 2 credit cards in between the plate and the headstock. I went to try to clamp it down, and the screw holes were all completely stripped out. There were also some problems with the truss rods while I was trying to adjust it. So when you're dealing with a warranty of any kind, you can't just do work on the guitar. You have to find out if there's anything that will void that warranty. So any type of fretwork, any type of woodwork, you can end up accidentally voiding the warranty on your guitar. So this community has great luthiers, great people who aren't luthiers but do a wonderful job, like Ted Talks Guitars and Brant from Tone Yeager using his mug today. But you need to understand, sometimes if you do that work to the guitar without checking and you have a warranty, it can void that. So I knew that, and the first one of these I got had been a B stock guitar. So I knew there would be imperfections, but it came down to the guitar actually getting to a point where it might not function and work that I wasn't able to do and I'd have to put some money into. So on the first one, I called Zzounds. Now, if you buy a B stock Epiphone, you need to understand this. Epiphone does not honor the warranty on B stock instruments, the Epiphone warranty. But Zzounds puts a 60-day money-back guarantee on everything they sell you that I know of. You'll have to check, but they still had a warranty in place. So when I talked to the sales rep, they said, absolutely, just ship it back. We're going to send you a brand new one, so not even a B stock, to replace it. So the customer service from Zzounds and all this has been amazing. 0 complaints. I was heartbroken. I'd really bonded with that first guitar, but they send me a QR code. I take it to a FedEx drop-off. They scan it. I don't pay anything. And as soon as the guitar gets scanned by FedEx, Zzounds sent the replacement before they had the other guitar back in stock so that you don't have too much downtime. So within 2 days, I had my replacement already. It's winter, you can see that. I waited a full 48 hours before opening the box. So I opened this one up, and basically what I expected, it's going to be a brand new guitar according to them. So the finish already was brighter, there were no scuffs on the body, but this. the high E string is being choked out. Now, the one thing you can do that I know for sure is a truss rod adjustment. I expected to do a truss rod adjustment. I've given it as much relief as it can take, and it's still fretting out and buzzing out. So what I did notice when I looked into the bag is the bag with the truss rod and the instructions was open and there was no truss rod. When you get one of these, you get a gig bag like this, and you get the swag, the hang tags and everything, and the truss rod's usually in there. This was open, there was no truss rod. So immediately I'm thinking this may have been a return as well. And that's fine. My original was a B stock, which are usually returns, but I was told it would be brand new. So already I was a little bit frustrated, but I found a truss rod wrench, or a truss wrench I had handy, access it, give it relief, wait, test it, and the string is still being choked out. So at that point, you're either talking about potentially a fret leveling situation, possibly the nut's not cut correctly, but I call Zzounds back. I explain what's happening, and again, to their credit, they said, send it back, we're going to send you a new one. So I'm starting to, apart from the sounds on this guitar, which are incredible, I'm starting to notice that there are issues incumbent in this model that I have to be aware of. One, even these, the plate with these tuners, even this one has a slight gap. So I would have had to take the strings off, clamp it down, tighten it in, make sure that it's tight. Because as you play, these will start to pull off of the headstock. You just need to make sure they're secure. Not a big deal. It's a plastic nut, and if it's not cut correctly, the strings can pinch, etc. So you may just need to do some nut filing. The truss rod, at least on this, I don't know if it was supposed to be, it's just a single action truss rod. It's not dual. The advantage of a dual action truss rod is you can actively move the neck to get relief or straighten it out, either way. When it's a single action truss rod, you're just loosening it and it will settle in. And that doesn't always work great. So single action truss rod, the plate for the tuners, and just the way this is built, you can see the action gets higher as you go down. There's a slant at the bottom, so you have to have the action totally dialed in between the bridge and the nut and the relief. Again, this is all normal stuff for a guitar. This isn't a huge complaint. But this vintage style instrument, as amazing as it sounds, there are going to be a couple of quirks. And no guitar, is perfect. I understand whether it's a $400 instrument or a $2,000 instrument, there are always going to be quirks and ticks with your guitar. It's not realistic to expect perfection, and I don't, and I haven't. But when you have a warranty, before you do any work at all, check with the manufacturer to see if they think that's within the reasonable bounds of what that guitar should be doing. This was supposed to be brand new, out of the box, but after kind of the condition of a couple things, I think this had been a return. That's fine. The body was pretty much flawless, but there's either a fretting issue and somebody had already been fiddling around with things on this. Somebody, I believe, had done some sort of truss rod work. If that's the case, I don't know how this one shipped out the door the way that it did. Because when I first played it, the string wouldn't move at all. It was just a tink, tink, tink. So what I'm starting to wonder is not every guitar gets an inspection. Some stores have a 30-point inspection, 40-point inspection, and not all of them get that. I've had several Epiphones and even a few Gibsons through the year. The tough thing about guitars like this, each guitar is completely unique. So part of me wishes I'd never returned the first guitar because I loved the way it played and I loved the sound. But I would have had to invest almost half again the cost of the original cost of the guitar. By the time this one came, different guitar, different problems, and based on our conversations, it's enough for them to say, send it back and we'll try it again. I fell in love with this guitar model. On my streams, I would constantly get feedback that just the way that it sounded, the way I was playing, I'd clearly bonded with this instrument. And there's something special about this smaller body. It's hard to explain if you haven't played it. It resonates completely differently. It's almost like it's got built-in a slight reverb and chorus effect when you play it. The Fishman controls are simple to use, just a volume and a tone, and plugged in, I was really enjoying the sounds that I was getting. But now I have to send it back again. And I think once you're in the value range of any guitar, guitar to guitar, you're going to have a lot more variation than when companies are inspecting each body more. That's an opinion. You can let me know in the comments. So I'm sending this back. I'm waiting for the QR code from FedEx. And when I unbox the next one, I know what to expect. First, I'm going to check the tuning plate to make sure it's flush to the body. If not, I'll plan on that. These ends can get bent. So when it's pulled away from the body, these ends can get bent when they get tightened in. You may have to straighten out that plate. It's just a vintage design. I need to make sure the nut is properly cut. And the bridge height, I want this to work out. I love the way this guitar sounds and the way it plays and the way I bonded with it. But if I get the third one, and again, I run into the gamut of issues, I don't know if I can go for a fourth. So this is kind of my challenge to Zzounds, to Epiphone. Things happen. You have made a great product. And Zzounds, your customer service, you stand behind your warranty. You've even done upgrades along the way. You took me from a B stock to a full warranty guitar, and that was all based on you. You easily could have made another decision. But if the third time around I open this Epiphone and I've got issues again where I'm going to have to invest money where it's not simple fixes I can do on my own, then I need to make a decision. Maybe invest a little bit more money, get a similar, shorter scale guitar, either through Epiphone or another brand. This is Bo. He wants to say hello. Come here. Guys, this is my kitty, Bo. He loves it when I sit up here and he wants to say hi to everybody. Say hi, Bobo. Hopefully Aluna is seeing this because I think he'd really like her, Mr. Smith. This is my good little guy. All right. I'm only frustrated right now because of how much I enjoy this guitar, the first one that I got. It was a gift in part from some very, very great friends, but more than that, the guitar just played wonderfully. Epiphone did a really nice job making a classic guitar model affordable and giving it some great features. But in all of that, if they do another release of this model, I think they need to upgrade the tuners, make a small adjustment to that plate, maybe go with a dual action truss rod next time around. That makes a big difference to me. Other than that, these are normal issues for an acoustic, especially an acoustic at such a great price point. So I'm sending this back. The same thing, as soon as it's scanned, they're going to send the replacement. Next week, I'll be doing another unboxing, and this time, I'm going to do the third unboxing with the camera on, the way I did with the first one. I'm going to find out if I finally got this dialed in and I can continue again to play the guitar that I fell in love with, or 3 strikes, you're out, and it's time to move on to another model. I really hope that's not the case. I've loved this guitar, and I really want it to work out. Please let me know in the comments your own experience with Epiphone acoustics. Again, I'm not expecting perfection, not to any degree. But what I do need is to make sure that it's sound enough that the repairs and things that I do have to make and the adjustments, the normal tweaks that you can expect, that they're going to hold tight, and I'm going to be able to use this guitar day in and day out for as long as I need to. Thank you for coming back, for watching this. Thank you, Zzounds, for the incredible customer service and support. Let's see if we can get it to work this time. And as soon as I get it in, I'll post the video. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.